Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is Rob, and welcome to my first official podcast. For those of you who have not heard my last podcast, go check it out. It's more of an intro to share with you guys why I created this channel and the purpose behind it. So, anyway, let's get started. Setting goals had always been a structure of mine. So, I know that in order for me to achieve my main goal, I need to set a lot of small goals. So, currently, what I'm doing is to really find different varieties of ways to make money and save money. So, I look into different investment, picking up more hours, or just working a lot harder. I mean, I tried asking for a raise, but that didn't work. But it's okay because my main focus is to save money to a down payment on a new home. So being able to achieve all the little small goals, I'm on the right track. So I'm very pleased with myself. The most common question I always ask myself is how? How am I going to do it? It's a better question than asking what, who, where, when, and any of the other questions. The main way to ask yourself is how am I going to do it? The one question I don't ask myself anymore is can I do it? Am I able to get what I want? Am I able to buy this house? The correct question is how am I going to do it? And I learned this from a book that I read a couple years ago. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It's an older book. I believe it was back in the 70s or 80s, and it's very, very popular. And I do recommend anyone to go ahead and check that out. It's not much of a instruction. It's more of a way of thinking. So really check it out because it had helped me open up my mind and really to move forward and able to achieve more. The reason why you don't want to be asking yourself the question of, can I do this? Am I able to do this? Am I able to achieve this? Because you're second guessing yourself and you don't want to do that. When you don't give yourself enough credit or you don't value yourself enough, because when you ask the question of, can I really buy this home? You're pretty much giving yourself a reason not to. You're giving yourself a reason why you shouldn't. But if this is your dream, why are you not allowing yourself to achieve that dream and doubt yourself? So that's why the question of how am I going to get it? Because you're determined, your determination going to go a long way. Your commitment is what's going to allow you to get that dream home that you always wanted. Have you ever set goals and you have not accomplished that goal? Of course, we all been there. I've done it many times. And the main reason why I didn't achieve my goals was because I was lazy. And that's it. I was just lazy because it was too much work. I feel like it was just taking away from my personal time versus something that is actually important. I'm sure we all been there. I understand some people might justify the behavior based on I have too much stuff to do, I have someone to take care of, but ask yourself, did you take on too much or was it just not the right timing? Understand that it's not your fault. You're not a bad person if you didn't achieve a goal that you set for yourself. But always want to be realistic. And if you want something, you will commit to it. The question is, how bad do you want to achieve that goal, your dream, your aspiration? Think about that. If you cannot achieve any goals, what does that tell you? It's not what other people done, it's what you didn't do. Think about that. If you didn't go ahead and follow through with what you say, you can't blame anyone but yourself. And that's okay. It's always okay because you can still do it. It's not too late. It's not, time hasn't passed where you won't be able to achieve it. You just got to get back on that horse and keep going. And what I want to talk about now is perseverance. My understanding of perseverance is the ability to continue moving forward regardless of the past failure. Every time we hear the word failure, it sounds so negative. You fail. I fail. We fail. It's a failure. It doesn't sound good. I know. Every time I heard that word before, it just made me feel like I'm nothing. Like I'm not worth anything. It's a very, very hurtful feeling to have. But I learned to understand that it's just a word. It shouldn't be negative. It's just a word to describe the situation or to describe something. Failure is a positive thing. It's not a bad thing because when we fail at something, we learn from it. And that's the key thing. When we not able to accomplish what we want to do, we need to look back, re-strategize, and look at what did I not do? Replan everything. Because if that way didn't work, create another way. Because if you only have one way of doing something, then you're telling me that you are already out of options. That's not true, is it? So think about that. When you run into a wall, most people are thinking, okay, I'm just going to turn around and walk back. Why don't you just walk around the wall? Think about that. You had more than one option. Why would you turn around and not continue forward? The reason why most people decide to stop or give up what they want to do is because, again, it's either laziness or the fact that people are just not very confident in themselves. And I'll save that topic for a future podcast, but understand, don't ever doubt yourself. When you fail at something, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means you need to rethink your plan, re-strategize what you're going to do, and keep moving forward. And I remember a quote, a very, well, the quote's a lot longer, but I can only remember so much. It was actually from a movie called Rocky 4. And I'm sure some of you have seen it or heard of it. But there was one line that Rocky said in the movie is, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, and so on. Don't give up. That's the best advice I can give anyone. Don't give up. Because there have been many, many times where I have felt that I can't do it anymore. I'm giving up. This is not worth it. When in actuality, I just gave up on myself. That's not a good feeling. And I'm sure a lot of you out there feel the same way. So why keep doing it? Why we continue to devalue ourselves, making ourselves not worth anything? Because we're all worth something. You just got to keep moving forward because sometimes whatever your dreams are, it's just going to take time. And it all depends on the effort and commitment you put behind it. Don't give up. I haven't. I almost did, but I got myself back up and I started running. So I believe in me. And I believe in everyone too, because we are capable of doing this. So let me give you another example. I'm going to get into a video game analogy because, well, growing up, I was big on video game. And I was able to compare certain type of game, if not all, to real life. For example, I'm sure some of you have heard the game Final Fantasy VII or any other Final Fantasy franchise. So in the game, it's considered RPG, JRPG, whatever you guys want to call it. But how we play the game, we have to build experience, get better weapon in order to move on to the next scenario, the next continent, the next village, or whatever the case may be. So in the game, when we build experience, we level up. When we level up, we have stronger stat. So compare that to real life. So when we go ahead and stay committed to our goal, we're going to encounter a lot of hurdle. We're going to encounter a lot of enemy obstacles, and we need to overcome it by being stronger. So think about that. In the video game, when we build experience, we level up. When we level up, we become stronger and we start getting more tools, whether it is a sword, a shield, an armor, a spell, item that can help us, cure a poison, etc., etc. I know I'm getting in too deep with the video game analogy, but it makes sense, doesn't it? So, in order for us to really commit, we need to understand that we need to make ourselves stronger. And in order to be strong, we need to fail. Not all the time, but when we do fail, we try again. Just like playing the very first Super Mario Brothers. Well, we try going through the first level, easy. Second level, easy. Third level, we died. We try again. And then the second time, we finish the level. It's an accomplishment because no matter what you encounter, as long as you keep moving forward, keep getting up, keep moving forward. Let's recap. When you set a goal, you want to make sure you commit to it. When you commit to it, understand that you will be running into a lot of issues, and that's fine. because when you find an issue, fix it. If there's a leak, you plug it. Same idea. There's never one way of doing something. There's always different ways. So if you only have one way of doing something, you're telling me that you're out of options. And that's not true. So think outside the box. So continue doing what you want to do. Remember, perseverance, regardless of any past failure, you still have the ability to move forward and accomplish what you want. Don't ever doubt yourself. So thank you guys so much for listening to my podcast today. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell, and leave a comment. I would love to hear back from you guys so I can continue to improve and create better content for you. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you next week.